What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This video we are looking at the MLB slate for Sunday, starting in a few hours, so let's go ahead and get right into it. As always, appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow on Twitter if you want the updates. Check out this website if you want. Link is in the description, and let's get started. So, looking at the pitching options today, we got a ton of great options here. We have Shane Bieber at 11,000. We have Carlos Rodon also checking in at 10,2. And those are like the top two options by far. Aaron Nola's also a good play, but he's facing off against the Yankees team, and he has not been as consistent as those guys. He hasn't top 20 DraftKings points in quite some time. And then Paddock is facing off against the Mets team that has been swinging the bats a lot better, and Paddock also has kind of been up and down this year. I don't think I want to pay $9,400 for him when I can get to two elite arms at the top in very good spots. The Mariners offense strikes out a ton. Bieber should have a huge game today. In terms of strikeouts, he also goes very deep into games. We've seen him top 100 pitches very often, gives you 35, 40-point upside. So you have to like Shane Bieber. And Rodon also, ever since he had that no-hitter, he hasn't really missed a beat. He's been awesome. Goes about 100 pitches most times, gets at least 90 pitches. Going to get you at least 6-7 innings here, probably 6 at least. And the Tigers are very bad against lefties and righties. They strike out a ton. And Rodon on the season is averaging well over a strikeout per inning. Doesn't walk many either, only 14 walks. Think he's also in a great spot to have another high 20s, maybe low 30-point outing. And then for the bats, looking at the lineups today, we have a couple of teams that I'm looking to stack up today. First couple of teams that look appealing are the Blue Jays, definitely against Martin Perez. Their offense is super powerful, and against lefties, they're very easy to stack. You get Teoscar, you get Vlad, you get Bichette, Simeon, top four, and then you throw in a Gurriel or a Grichuk as your fifth option. The Reds been scoring a ton of runs recently. I love them against Senzatella at home, especially guys like Naquin at only $3,800, Suarez $48, Votto, and then throwing in like a Castellanos makes some sense as a stack. White Sox are in play. They are cheap, especially Goodwin, $2,600. Garcia as a leadoff hitter, and then you can throw in Abreu, Moncada as your third and fourth guys. Indians also look good just because they're cheap, like Bobby Bradley at only 34, Rosario only 36, Ramirez at 28. They are pretty easy to get to at home against Gilbert, especially with them being favored. Expected to put up some runs for Bieber, and think they are just way too cheap. Probably the best value stack. Another good value stack is the Brewers against Will Crow. They're priced up a little bit more a couple weeks ago where they were like all in the 3K range besides Yelich. But they're a little bit more expensive, so I would say the Indians are a better value stack than the Brewers. And then the last game, you can look at the Astros, but they are definitely behind a couple of other teams. One Astro that looks really good is Brantley, just because he's only $3,200, which doesn't make a lot of sense because he's been swinging a pretty good bat this year, and he hits like second in the batting order, so should be looking at 5 at-bats potentially today. So back to DraftKings, first base. Can look to quite a bit of options. Bobby Bradley hit that home run for us the other time when he was in the picks, and I think I can go right back to him. He's only $3,400. Maybe bats like 5th or 6th in the lineup today. He's been swinging a hot bat. It's only his 6th game, but he has already 7 hits and 14 at-bats, and 4 of those 7 hits have gone for extra bases. And in those 14 at-bats, he's only struck out 1, so he's making a lot of contact, which is what you want, especially for only a $3,400 guy. Lefty-righty matchup also has a lot of pop. Pretty easy to get to him as a value first base option. Over at second base, if you're looking to pay up, it's definitely going to be for Marcus Semien, 51 for Altuve, 53. For value, it's Brandon Lau at only $4,200. Gene Segura has been awesome. He has a couple of walk-off hits recently, 6 hits in his last 2 games. He's been swinging a very good bat, so he has to be a good value. And then also looking at maybe like a Josh Harrison at $3,700 makes some sense. And then I think the White Sox leadoff hitter Garcia is probably shortstop eligible. Yeah, he's shortstop. So actually, he's just outfield eligible. $3,300. It kind of sucks, but I gotta give you guys a couple of options here. Probably look at like Semien as my favorite pay up, and then maybe like Segura and Brandon Lau as some cheaper options. Third base is Suarez. I like him at $4,800. You have Moncada at 51, and then Jose Ramirez would be another guy that looks appealing at 55. Don't think I want to go lefty for Devers, Bregman, I like him a little bit more against lefties, so I don't think I'll go to him at 53. I'd rather go to Moncada or Ramirez or possibly even Suarez at 48. For value here, if you wanted to go down to a Starlin Castro, I think that is fine at only 37 against Johnny Cueto. He's definitely not as good of a hitter as he was in years past, but he still gets on base, maybe gets you a couple RBIs. Doesn't have as much power, but he's only 37 against a pitcher that is prone to getting blown up at times. Over at shortstop, we have an absolutely loaded position. At the top, you have Bo Bichette at 5K. Tatis is all the way up to 62. He's been awesome against a lefty. Is where you want to get to him as well. That is a tough price tag to get to, or a high price tag if you're looking to pay up at pitchers. I think you can save some money and go to like a Tim Anderson, go to a Bichette instead. Those two look great. Lindor's been swinging a better bat recently at $4,400. And then if you needed to go to a value play, you can maybe look to like Walls, $2,800 as a pure punt option. But I love Bo Bichette. He's been awesome this year. Hits for power, hits for a high average, gets on base, and it's just a good spot against a lefty. On the season, recently he's been batting .310 with a home run his last 10. He gives you a little bit of speed as well with 7 stolen bases, and just like targeting. This Blue Jays offense, they are just super fun to stack up. In the outfield, your most expensive guy is Yelich, Soto, Winker. Yelich is 61. I probably won't get all the way up to him. I'd rather go to like Castellanos, save some money at $5,200. You have better options that are cheaper as well. One very cheap option that looks good is Goodwin if he bats like second again. Only $2,600. White Sox have one of the highest totals on the slate. He's going to be easy to get to as a value play. I expect him to be in the lineup once again, especially after his big night yesterday. And then the second guy that I like is probably like Naquin, just because I do want to get to at least 1 or 2 Reds. He's only $3,800. He's cooled off a little bit, but he's still been awesome this year. 11 bombs, batting .261, and he gives you power. Sensatella isn't a good strikeout pitcher, so he should be able to make some contact, and especially when you look at his stats, and he's already struck out 51 times this year. If he's making contact, gets on base, he can do some damage, and really like the Reds again, especially in this ballpark. The ball just carries, especially as the weather gets warmer. So this is it for the DraftKings plays. Let's touch on FanDuel. All right, for FanDuel, I just kind of have the plays already on here. I just want to make the NBA video as well. But it's going to be the same kind of deal. Shane Bieber at 12K. You can maybe go down to a Rodon at 10.5, but I will have the ability to get up to Bieber. It's based on some of the value that we have. And one value play is Bobby Bradley at only $2,500. Brian Goodwin is only $2,000. He's min price on FanDuel. Naquin is only $27. Bichette is somewhat expensive, but he should be $3,600, and it still leaves you with over $3K left to fill out the rest of your bats. But I do like this combination with some power, with some cheap hitters, and then still paying up for a Bieber, which definitely think is the best option today to go to. So that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Best of luck this afternoon, and we'll catch you all next time.